Another stream.
Welcome back.
We should check our lab.
Okay.
You wanna step aside?
Just start.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
It was at 11. 11 seconds of lag. Yeesh.
But, I mean, it could be worse. Anyway. The scene. John, ride a slime pogo and one-up that imp. Well, okay, it's not a slime pogo, but it's not a slimer pogo, but you mount it anyway and brandish your deadly armament. John, ride your steed to victory.
Amazing.
This is incredibly dangerous.
Yeah.
John, flip the fuck out. Let's see how they like the old double barrel leather blaster whoops. Oh shit.
John, how far?
Mr. John, respectfully ask that you please stand up.
Don't move or the pogo gets it.
Gosh, they really like the pogo. Now, sir boy, lead this boorish rabble post haste.
He's getting ready and roll. Nice abscond, dude. Refrigerator, level up for slaying the imp. The refrigerator skyrockets the echelon to a new rung, 5-star General Electric, and it earns 285 boon dollars. Things are really looking up for this feisty appliance.
Well done, John. Polite congratulations.
For some reason, you feel a sense of positive reinforcement. Wherever this feeling is coming from, it sure is a welcome change from your erratic moods earlier.
Now, my civil fellow, I have a well-mannered query to ask.
I blocked the entrance. Or no. You.
It's your character. Do we need to pull something up for him?
Yeah, do you want to pull it up on your phone?
I can't find my phone. I can just do
What
this.
do you mean you can't find your phone?
I blocked the entrance to the study to give you some space to work with the Designix. John! Imp's behind you! Should I take care of it? You tapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why'd you get... trapped. You trapped your PDA again, didn't you? Why did you have to pick up all that stupid shaving cream? So pointless.
Rose, drop something heavy on one of those imps. That was a pretty good fall. Your turn.
John, might I bother you for a can opener?
Oblivious to the commotion behind you, suddenly you find yourself pondering the whereabouts of a can opener. You think there is probably one in the kitchen, but the path is rather blocked by your refrigerator. John is completely unresponsive. What the hell is that nincompoop doing?
Years in the future.
But let's not get totally carried away here. A studious eye darts across a page like a honeybee gathering the nectar of wisdom. Typical human. Please, thank you, you're welcome, good day. How do you do? Splendid, and you? Gratification. Further courtesy. Favor is mutually accurred. Yeah. Munch, 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 chew, burp. Elixir known as tea. Observe the vestigial fourth digit is a cantilever.
Cantilevered.
Everyone is polite. Yeah. Munch, 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 chew, burp.
He is having so much trouble.
How do I get this to go forward?
Don't worry about that. Guess who gets?
Me?
Oh, it's not. It's not. We're not gonna read all of that, but mostly because we're not gonna click on those.
Well, yeah.
They don't have to.
But I read the text,
Yeah.
right? I can't take as many as I'd like to for comprehensive documentation for what it's worth. Here's what I've managed to collect so far. More captures forthcoming.
Oh, okay, we can look at these. Co-player John.
Co-player John assesses environment after transition to medium. Followed by Sprite, sans kernel, prototyped once pre-hatch. Completely useless in this form. Severed from suburban grind, the house remains mysteriously powered. Convenience presumably facilitated by the game, which perhaps deems navigating a powerless house to be a handicap less in keeping with the game's principal sentiment of challenge. Internet connection remains stable as well. Will likely remain stable unless the internet itself is compromised by a external threat, like something, let's say, hackers. Kill monsters, get grist, build onto the house. That's the game. Don't know what the point of this was at the time. Or didn't know what the point of this was at the time. Floundering trial and error on exhibit. Another unsuccessful attempt at Tier 2 prototyping. Knowing what I know now, I might have avoided using a backbreaking Vade Mecham for practical jokesters rife with inadequate lexicon and racist aphorisms. Either that, or I might have tried harder to succeed. Final screen capture before I lost my internet signal for a time. I don't know what happened thereafter, but when I returned, the car was nowhere to be found, and the driveway plateau is in a state of disrepair. The mysteries, will they ever cease? Sprite prototyped once more with grandmother's remains. She treats John to be some helpful exposition in a friendly and grandmaternal matter. Co-player has displayed inexplicably capricious behavior since arrival. Stress-related? Contracted virus indigenous to realm? It should be noted that he was kind of a weird guy anyway. Design X deployed. Still no clue what this does. At the mercy of co-players' fullest prioritization tendency. Grist payload from slain foe. Whether I deal the co-player to fuck. Whether I deal the damage or co-player does, yield is same. Though I have a significant advantage in battle, taking measures into my own hands deprives John of some hand-to-hand combat experience, which ostensibly will become crucial later on. Building the point. Building upward. The point sharpened and directed. Ah, steeds, steeds, what steeds? Has the whirlwind in a home in your mains? There is a sensitive ear, alert as a flame in your chest fiber. I need to do this on this, I'm sorry.
You're all good.
No.
It's the wrong one. What's your code again?
You're
No.
using my thumb.
Oh, groovy. Which one are we on?
Green can.
Oh.
Steed.
Yeah, if I can just follow along my finger, that makes this so much easier. Ah, steeds, steeds, what steeds? Has the whirlwind home in your manes? Is there a sensitive ear, alert as a flame in your every fiber, hearing the familiar song from above? All in one accord, you strain your bronze chests, and hooves barely touching the ground, turn into straight lines, cleaving the air. All inspired, by God, it rushes on. Yeah, I have no idea what the fuck he's doing here. Another one of those things. Really, Egbert? Burnley? Family? Really?
Let's see.
A view of his kidnapped father's room. I can't see in here for some reason. Perhaps this is because John himself has never entered the room. Is it possible that I can only see, in a sense, what John can see, or has seen already? I have not found the time to discuss this with him yet. If he enters the room, the question may answer itself.
Rose. Construct loft above John's room.
Oh gosh. No. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, that is kind of fun though.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully that worked.
Ladders seem to be a bit cheaper than stairs.
Hello, John. It appears we have reached an impasse.
Yes, it seems so.
The opener dilemma remains unsettled, most unfortunately.
It is unfortunate, I guess. What are we talking about again?
But it has been a pleasure nonetheless.
Thanks for the courtesy. It's not really necessary, but thanks anyway. Computer. There is a blinking red light and a diagram etched into a panel. Rose, answer Dave.
I'm Dave, right?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, hold on. Why am I getting this stupid game for you? You're the one who should be a wrist deep in puppet butt.
What is the specific problem?
The problem is I am up my gosh dang neck in friggin' puppet. I'm sorry. No, I'm not saying that.
Oh,
You know you like the mannequin dick. Accept it.
No.
I'm enrobed in a chafing, wriggling, god-fucking-damned puppet pelvis. And that obscenely long, coarse Kermit cock is being dragged across my anguished face.
Let's put this into perspective. You put up with the puppet prostate because you love it. Also, coarse is a good word.
You don't seem to harbor any sympathy for the fact that I've burrowed fuck deep into lively, fluffy Muppet buttocks. I'm whirling in the terrible cyclone at the epicenter of my own personal holocaust of twitching foam noses. It's like a fucking apocalypse of perky proboscis here. Like, the proboscalypse, I guess.
Are you going to start rapping about this?
What? No, listen.
Wrong the flesh be bereft of home, found solace twixt a cleft of foam.
Oh, Jesus, no.
Of apocalypse your thoughts eclipse, a painted pair of parted lips that dare through kiss to stir the air, that teases tufts of orange hair.
I hate all this.
Shush. Through faces flush in lovers' fit, hands slung in plush as gloves befit.
Okay, Dickinson, if you can shut your perfumey trap for a half second, this is serious. I'm just saying, if I see one more soft, voluptuous bottom being like kind of jutting out and impudent or whatever, I'm gonna fly off the handle. I'm gonna do some sort of acrobatic funking pirouette off the handle and win like a medal or some shit.
Then let's hope there will be a squishy derriere somewhere below the handle to break your fall.
John, observe back of the first visible captcha card. You flip over the card containing the pogo ride. Anytime you capture log something, a new code appears on the back of the card. You've always wondered what that code was for. Damn, these things are hard to read, but then you've never really found a reason to decipher them. Until now, perhaps. John, examine reverse side of hammer card in a strife specibus. Looks like the cards in your strife deck have codes, too. John, enter capture log code as seen on back of Pogo Ride card. You enter the code DQMMJLEK into the keyboard. At least you think that's what the code is. The red light switches off. A green light begins blinking. John, insert card. Type in NZ7UN6BI. In the interest of due diligence, you enter the other code and repeat the process with that card too. Both cards are now punched with different hole patterns. John, attempt to retrieve Pogo card. Oh, well that should just be a simple matter of... Oh no, it looks like it's trapped now. You don't see how you can access the item anymore, or store a new item for that matter. These cards are pretty much useless now, and items that they contain are toast. But maybe not all is lost. Recalling from your experience the pre-punched card, you may be able to use the card to replicate the items in question. Assuming you got the codes right, that is. John, mash keys heedlessly. not quite through it with your cowboy imperialistic empiricism
Yeah.
just yet. You mash at the keyboard to generate a random code. You enter DSKJHSDK. The dynamic stops you after 8 characters, which appears to be the maximum length of a code. The green light goes on, signaling its readiness for a card. You figure you might as well burn the shaving cream, since the product is not exactly a premium in your household. You also figure you might as well merge the 2 cans on to 1 card. You're a little sad that your dad isn't here for this. You have a feeling he would have a real kick out of the idea of duplicating more shaving cream.
Put the right code in!
You punch the card with a pattern that is in no way related to the code for the item it contains. This should make for an interesting experiment. Mad science is a lot of fun.
Mad science is just fuck around and find out, but scientifically.
Scientifically requires it to be repeatable, though.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. It's like writing down what you're doing, but still just fuck around and find out.
Unfortunately, you have burned another card in the process. Your deck is really dwindling now. Maybe you should have thought this through a little better. On the plus side, you have freed up your PDA, which is overflowing with the pent-up chatter of anxious pesterers.
The fridge. No, that's the bathtub.
That's a bathtub.
Oh my god.
John.
You're just testing out the physics.
John, answer your chums.
Puppets! Awesome! That's really all there is to say on the matter.
Turntech Godhead changed his mood to rancorous.
John, I'm about to throw a bathtub through your wall. Watch out.
Wow, that was so totally unnecessary.
I made a shortcut upstairs. I thought it would be a good idea to get up there and try the cards as soon as possible. Also, you weren't being terribly responsive.
You mean these stairs? Man, look at these shitty stairs. They're so narrow. I'm supposed to climb those?
They're perfectly navigable. Navigable? They're perfectly navigable. I'm saving on grist for now. If you keep slaying foes, collecting grist, and expanding the cash limit, we may not need to be so economical with our resources in the future.
So, why didn't you just build a way through the hole into my dad's room?
Have you ever been in there?
No.
Exactly.
Huh?
I'd rather not get sidetracked. I'm more interested in further exploring the mechanics of the game than watching you discover what sort of outlandish harlequin decor your father keeps in his room.
Oh, come on. What's the big deal? I'll just climb up and go right through.
Will you?
Yeah, why not?
Are you saying you've never wondered what's in there? Or why it's been kept a secret from you?
Well, I mean, yeah.
Then trust me, you won't be going right on through.
Wait, are you saying there's something, like, troubling in there?
I don't know.
What do you mean? What do you see in there?
I can't see in there.
Oh,
But I don't have a very good feeling about it.
whatever. I think I can handle a few more stupid clown paintings.
Does he go in there?
Rose, move punch to cards to John's room. Rose, drag some Cruxite dowels up to John's room. John, collect grist, examine safe. You swoop up the bountiful supply of grist gathered by your co-players' recent exploits. From now on, it will probably go without saying that you'll nab any grist lying around without making a big fuss over it. You check out the busted safe, which has made a noble sacrifice in battle. Some of your father's old odds and ends have spilled out, including some newspaper clippings and two rather hefty tomes. It's a fair bit that it's a fair bet that these books compromised at least half the weight of the safe. John, examine family tome of humor. It's another copy of Colonel Sassafras's daunting text of magical frivolity and practical japery. This one looks really old, perhaps an original printing. Could it be the same one involved in your grandmother's unfortunate accident on that fateful day? Dad would never speak a word about it, but your Nana wouldn't be so tight-lipped. But maybe your Nana wouldn't be so tight-lipped? You give it a cursory perusal. It appears to be similar to your reprinting, listing all the japes and chicanery you have come to know and love. You capture log it, thinking you might give it a closer look later. John, examine contents of safe. Fatherly Gent's Shaving Almanac. You take a look at the other book. You're sure Dad thought this was a skillet... Scantling? Not scantling. Something like titillating. Read. But it looks pretty boring to you. Maybe you'll crack into it someday when you're old enough to shave. Everything in this safe was obviously very important to your father. You wonder why he kept it locked away from you. Some things about him you will never understand. Space rocks that knock local suburbs block off. Populace oblivious to broader significance of event, assuming there is any, which there definitely isn't. Shortly after 4 a.m. today, a downpour of meteors in a residential neighborhood became yet another instance in a pattern of recent rocky cosmological phenomena. The incident, aside from property damage and loss of life, was downplayed by authorities as not all that big of a deal.
Monday, April 13th, 19-something.
Meteors! Crocker facility leveled. It seems he has been collecting scraps from the news over the years. These articles go back decades.
Meteors.
John, look at the piece of paper taped to the wall.
Would you believe meteors have been doing things?
Son, if you are reading this, it means you are strong enough to lift the safe. You are now a man. As such, you are entitled to what is inside. I know you will take this responsibility seriously. I'm so proud of you. John, turn over the card. You guess this is the combination to the safe. This is completely useless. John, examine back of capture log card on floor. You guess that these are all zeros? Or they could, or are they capital O's? Zeros would probably make more sense for an empty card. John, capture log the card. John, enter code on the back of the card into the Zynex. 111111111. John, punch card.
Replicating card.
Wait, John, before you punch that. Oh, I was about to say, if you first take note of the card, then remove the card from the card, you could have punched the blank one. You would have only burned one card instead of 2.
Oh, you're right. Damn it. John, throw a hat down in disgust.
Bye, Hat!
John, capture log punched, capture log, capture log punched, capture log card.
No.
What? John, take the PDA. The two card Solidex. Inventory of dumbasses. John, level up.
Perky urchin.
Pesky urchin. Gel viscosity, cash limit, and mad grit. Colonel Sassacrass. Level up for slaying the imp.
Woo!
The colonel soars to new heights on his echelon, reaching the rung one-man julep vacuum, and pockets 9,550 boon dollars. Chump change for the genteel aristocratic southern colonel. Bathtub. Level up for slaying the imp. The bathtub surges heroically and surpasses the rung Archimedes aqua cradle, proceeding directly to a vaulted rung Taft jammer. The tub makes off with a cool 490 boon dollars. The tub's basin capacity remains unaffected. Safe. Level up for slaying the imp. The safe was slain in battle. A great flaming nautical pyre carries it off to Valhalla. John, make your way up those stairs, post-haste. You're not sure, they look pretty precarious to you. But you've been assured the stairs are perfectly navigable. Lad, scramble. Lousy goddamn stupid stairs. I mean, if he's able to do that to the stairs, are they really navigable?
Probably not.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Drop it on his head.
Dave, ignore little Cal and find the bed. You wander over to the place where your bro keeps his sweet turntable gear. Man, this setup is sweet. You feel pangs of jealousy whenever you walk up by it. Really cool jealousy, though. Like the kind where instead of getting all worked up about it, you don't actually give a shit. One of your brother's rad and extremely expensive ninja swords is missing, though. You know this drill all too well. Trouble's a brewing. Dave, take expensive ninja sword. What sword? Dave, exit your bro's room. You approach the exit. There's something on the door you haven't seen before. Looks like one of your bro's ironic comics he left for you to check out. We're not gonna worry about this. If people want to read it, they can. Okay, some of the stuff you don't... You know he's just leaving around to get under your skin. This is obviously another ploy in his relentless scheme of one-upsmanship to get your goat. Same goat you've been meaning to bleat like ironically, but that will still have to wait for a more appropriate time. You think he knows that deep down you feel like you're still not ironic enough to get stuff like this. And this is probably some weird gauntlet he's throwing down to see if you will get it. But honestly, you think this material is just a little too ironic. You just don't need to see this shit right now. Dave, go to kitchen. No sign...
He lives with his brother, that's it.
No sign of bro in here either. Well, aside from the absurd quantity of awesome, dangerous stuff he leaves lying around.
Grab more swords.
Dave, transfer katana to Strife Specibus.
Does it sound not a safe home for this kid to be in?
No.
More swords than you specimen.
With an escalating sense of threat, you think it's time to shift your katana to your specibus. You figure it's better to free up the card anyway, since you might need to grab some of this stuff. Dave, set blender to mix. I guess your bro stuck some fake blood capsules in that puppet. Pretty gross.
Is bro
I'm not
okay?
sure these puppets are puppets. Oh, there's a camera in that one.
I'm kind of scared that his brother had serious mental illness if he left all of
There's
it
another
lying around.
sword. He needs to grab the sword.
You spot one of your bro's many webcams nearby, recording the incident. It seems you may have just been an unwitting accessory to some sort of grisly puppet snuff film. You're not totally sure how you feel about that.
Oh no. What was the brother making and doing? And
Dave, capture log Buster's sword from behind microwave. This might be the only thing in the whole apartment that's a bigger piece of shit than your own sword. You put it back behind the microwave where it belongs. Dave, set blender to crush ice. It's just sort of bouncing around in there. You're making a bit of a mess now. John, hide evidence in microwave. See, like, his hobbies are cool and all, and you guess he's got to put his shit somewhere. But what if you just wanted to heat up a burrito or something? His kitchen is pretty useless.
Yeah.
Dave, grab those fireworks. You capture log the fireworks. 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 is 15 out of remove the tens equals 5. The sink has to offer. You just know these are going to come in handy. Why would they be in the sink if they weren't? Looks like one of them is stuck in the garbage disposal. Dave, capture log shurikens. You grab the shurikens, 5, and... Hey, careful where you're putting stuff. Especially if you're looking to turn your Silodex into a powder keg full of sharp things. You put the box of fireworks, 3, into the card 5 and prepare to start off. Or card 3. Apparently that settles that, you guess. Dave, take nunchucks. You take the nunchucks, 3, once again grabbing without thinking ahead. First, you capture log the box, 5 again, while adeptly avoiding the shuriken trap which you yourself set only moments ago. Again, round up all the fireworks. Time to regroup here. Dave, capture log each shuriken individually. You grab each shuriken, 3, one at a time, knocking out those nunchucks, but no worries, you've got a plan. Dave, capture log nunchucks. You take the nunchucks, 6. Everything seems to be in order now. It would have been awesome to go with the authentic Japanese names for each weapon, but sometimes you've just got to compromise with this modus. Dave, examine fetch modus. You flip over your fetch modus and check the back. You're not really sure where it is you're keeping this thing. Oh well, who cares? Dave, press eject button.
No.
Oh, hell no. Not after all that trouble you went through to get the stuff situated. This is potentially a very dangerous button. Dave, change to Scrabble point hash modus. Changing hash function will eject Silodex. Are you sure? First, you program the modus with the Scrabble points hash function, adding it to the list. This might be a cool function to use, but it looks like you'll have to empty your Silodex to select it. You're just not gonna do that yet. No way. Dave, check the box detect collisions. Okay. Dave, take the skateboard. And just what is it this guy so happy about? What's he looking up at there? You think if you see one more soft, voluptuous bottom being like kind of jetting out and impudent or whatever, you're gonna fly off the handle. You take the skateboard. Actually, no. You don't. A collision has been detected. You take the, wheeled, ride. And your inventory, nomenclature is getting lamer by the minute. Dave. Nomenclature is getting lamer by the minute. Dave. Capture log the unplugged power cord. You take the power cord. Wait, no, not going to work. Dave, think of a new word for power cord. You take the battery pack. Damn it. You take the battery pack using the Y as a consonant. Your Solidex reluctantly accepts. That's a tactic notoriously employed by hash map noobs. But you just don't care about that now. Besides, it's not like your bro is around to see.
There's Cal, though! Oh, the brother's the one putting Cal places. Okay.
Dave, search for some mad snacks, yo.
Okay, at least the brother's the one putting Cal places. I for a bit thought Cal was just teleporting-ish.
The brother is invincible?
No, he's just really fast.
Wow.
Oh, it's just little Cal again. You can never stay mad at him. Anyway, you've got to get this way rude hunger under control. You figure you ought to scope the fridge for some grub. This hunger is so ill-mannered, it would make a room full of snooty dodgers that commit mass suicide. Dave, open refrigerator.
God.
God, more shitty swords. Of course you knew these were in here. You're not even sure why you looked. If you want to keep any food or beverage in this apartment, you've pretty much got no choice but to hide stuff away in your closet. Dave, take swords.
Yes!
The hell with it. You try it and take the entire jumble of unbelievably shitty swords and brace yourself for... Looks like that worked, actually. Capture log of the jumble of unbelievably shitty swords. Dave, use ice maker. It's still hot around here. You dispense several cherry bombs.
Of course!
Wait, who's that looking in the reflection? Where'd the little dude scamper off to this time? Dave, capture log cherry bombs. You go for the cherry bombs, 9, unsuccessfully. After mulling it over, you take the round spherical salutes. Dave, take blender. Blender, 2, is a pretty simple word, and you can already tell that's not going to work. Instead, you take the Orling Blade Pitcher. That's really a much better name for it anyway, you think. Dave, activate garbage disposal.
No.
Dave, stuff down Mr. Purple Guy into the garbage disposal.
Why are we killing all the puppets? I still want to know, are these kids reliable narrator?
If you had
I
to
don't
live
think
with
so.
all these puppets,
You'd go insane too?
do be
I don't
aware
think
that
you really feel bad about killing them.
Well, no, but he just doesn't feel like a reliable narrator.
this is using the you tense, the second person.
Yeah.
So,
Like, I
It's
feel
more
like...
like somebody's watching them. Like,
Anyway.
they're-
So it's written by that kid in the future? Or... I'm just confused. I feel like there's some block of ice that I'm not getting.
It's just
We're only 603 pages into this
Okay.
comic.
Okay.
anyway.
You're still not sure what he's so happy about, or what he's looking at up there. While you're at it, you dump out the contents of the blender. Whoops. I mean, whirling a blade pitcher into the disposal. But you suffer an unfortunate garbage disposal head jam. You notice something in the reflection, something above you. Dave, look up. Hello, Dave. It's the hatch to the crawl space above your apartment. Bro's always tucking away in there when he's busting out his rad stealth stunts. He's so slick that dangling a cord never even jostles. You just know he's being ironic with those weird mind games. There's no way anyone would be serious about aping those shitty movies. Dave, use the turntables and cinder blocks to make a fort. It's a pretty sweet fort, and you just made, and you're pretty sure your brother would agree. Under different circumstances, you might be high-fiving over it right now. But rather than get inside, you take her for a spin. You really just need to use it to get to that hatch. Dave, yank cord. Time to face your destiny. No going back now. And we're coming up to something that I did show the two of you earlier, like way before we even talked about reading it and stuff.
Oh, goodness. So that's why he's so traumatized when he talks to Rose.
Yeah, there was pretty much no way there wasn't going to be a bunch of puppets in there.
We already read this, didn't we?
Yes, we did. But now you understand.
Yeah.
And he's probably just sitting in there, typing this.
You can see him typing it.
Weird.
Can't even see his face. Dave, read the note on the hatch. Bro, roof, now, bring Cal. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen! Dave, burst out of the puppet pile like the one.
I'm really concerned.
Dave, be the other guy. You are now the other guy.
What?
What do you mean, what? This is what this comic does.
Dave can't just be John. Did we just go back to John?
We just
Okay.
went. That's what this comic does.
Okay.
Be person. Okay. You are now blank.
Because we're reading a few perspectives and
John, take dowels and sheets from bed and make a tent.
The devil's on purpose!
That is so much fun. A huge waste of time, yes, but so much fun.
Wait, where'd you say that? Oh, she threw them off the side!
John, carve a totem of the punched pogo card. You put the punched card containing the pogo ride in the slot, and carve a totem from one of the Cruxite dowels. John, repeat process with the other cards and dowels. Use the card containing the code for the hammer, as well as the one with the random code, and punch over the shaving cream card for the hell of it. You carve the respective totems for the cards. John, do something with captcha to captcha card. You make a totem for the captcha card. Pretty bare bones looking totem if you ask you. Rose, collect totems. You stow the totems in the Anthenium. Rose, produce captcha card. The alchemizer requires 1 unit of grist of any type of grist to produce 1 card. You decide to use shale. It seems less generally helpful than billet grist as of now. You make a whole bunch of them. Whoa, did you just make all these?
Yes?
Sweet, thanks. What did you do with all the blue wobbly vase looking things?
I brought the totems out to the alchemizer to test them. I'm taking some things into my own hands to save some time.
Okay. You create a hammer at the expense of 2 units of billet grist. You make a pogo ride, too. -5 billet grist and 1 shale.
Oh no.
Oh gosh, that's hilarious.
Use the totem card with the random code. You create a rocket pack with some random crap stuck inside it. It looks like a cinder block, a violin, and a flower pot. The items that have rendered the device completely inoperable. You figure you might as well put this piece of junk to use. John, collect cards. Using a little strategy first, you grab Harry Anderson's Wise Guy by Mike. Then the cards, then your ejected PDA, then the book again, and flush the cards into your deck. Nice going. John, turn on Detect Collisions. You flip the fetch mode but find no such option. This is idiotic. John, read book. Be the wise guy.
Bloodlust is the big easy.
In
We're not reading this.
New Orleans. You never really understood what Caverni's relationship to Anderson was, or why he wrote this book about him. His ambivalent attitude towards your favorite magician in these anecdotes always struck you as a little weird, and to be honest, you tend not to read much of the text in the book. You mostly like to look at the diagrams for all the cool tricks. I want to see when the next... Let's see when a good stopping place for us is.
Hello, welcome to intermission, where we talk. No, we're doing intermission because we have a hole in the ace trick up. So we have intermission. Sure, I will read hole in the ace. Here is the perfect example of how Harry could ruin several decks of cards, waste everyone's valuable time, and have you love him for it. He was good at that. One day, he noisily emptied his suit jacket pocket into the hood of his car in search of change for the meter. A clunky metal thing slid from the pile and bounced on the sidewalk. As I retrieved it for him, I asked what he was doing with a hole puncher in his pocket. His face lit up at the question, like he was an elf. And I asked him how he felt about climbing into the hollow of a big tree to bake some cookies for something. The 2 feet 6-inch height difference between us caused these comparisons to enter my mind. A small crowd had already gathered around even before he produced the first pack of unmolested cards. How people seemed to gather, and how they even know a street performer is about to take place, I'll never know. Is the intermission done?
Yeah. I think we can go to the end of the act and then be done for today. How does that sound? Just about 120 pages.
Roughly how long?
Depends on how fast we read. Oh yeah, that's right. The old hole in the ace trick, interestingly enough, pertaining it to punching holes in cards and making them disappear and stuff. Your hands were never really strong enough to make this one work all that well either. But actually, this gives you an idea. You overlap the two punched cards. They mask each other's hole patterns. John, put both holes in both cards in totem weight. You carve another totem using the new combined hole punch. John, take it to the alchemiter.
So many hammers.
Man, looks like Rose made a million of hammers for some reason. Well, get all this shit out of the way. You're about to make something sweet.
Okay, that is pretty fun.
You got the pogo hammer. John, practice with new weapon.
Now he's jealous.
No, they're afraid.
Rose.
Yeah. Wait, where am I?
Next.
What did you do?
I combined the cards in the lathe thingy and made this. It is so sweet, man. Look at it go.
I see. That was a really good idea, John. Nice work.
Thanks. I got the idea from Harry Anderson.
Who?
You know the show Night Court?
No.
Oh, well, bottom line is, he's awesome. That's really all there is to say on the matter. John, attack at nearest imp to test Pogo Hammer's strength. You get a vicious rhythm bouncing combo going and easily slay the imp in one blow. You and the Pogo Ride are catapulted sky high in the process.
Roads
Nice,
for the
sweet
win. Oh goodness, you forgot about that. Oh no, there's another one.
Rose, pester John. Hey, that was pretty nice.
Sorry, our row is a little bit behind.
Sorry. Okay. I'm gonna stop being behind now. I got distracted by time. Sweet catch.
Save. Oh yeah, that. This is pretty comfy. Why don't you just, like, carry the bed around with me on it? Up to the gate up there.
I can't interact directly with you or anything that you are touching, but will result in moving you. See?
Oh, lame.
The game probably regards that as a kind of cheating, in a way. Thieving you of your free will as an adventurer, and the need to advance by your own skill and ingenuity. The server player is just a facilitator.
Well, okay. All that scurrying around kind of wore me out. I think I'm gonna rest here for a bit. Rose, can you keep the imps at bay? Like, drop some stuff on if they sneak too close?
No! You should pick up your hammer and defend yourself.
What? Come on.
I will take your phone.
I have no idea what the hell Dave is up to, or if he's any closer to recovering the game. There's some stuff I'd like to try. In any case, in case he doesn't come through.
Oh, alright. I'm just gonna rest my eyes here a second, though. John, sleep.
Rose, put your phone down.
Game proceeds to save.
Rose, check alchemy at Excrutus. Looks like a sort of index at documenting all the known results of for punch card alchemy combinations. This could be a convenient resource as you start to stumble on more useful card combinations. But ever since John started punching cards, you've been contemplating other ways this item manufacturing system could be put to use. In particular, if you obtain the code for any item at your disposal, you think you could theoretically send the code to John, and he could make it himself. That is, if you can think of anything that would be worth sending to him. Rose, capture log Spurb server CD.
Oh gosh, the fire's right outside!
You eject the disk and capture log the server CD. Rose, message John the capture log code.
Dang it!
Oh, god damn it!
Oh my god. So much fun. Oh no, she's gonna lose an eye.
She lost power.
John, wake up.
Cloud into dad. Cloud into cake. Cloud into
Gushers.
gushers. Cloud into Harlequin. Slug. Whoever that guy is.
The magician.
What the heck is that? Is that a new character? Pumpkin.
Oh, recently, so I was at Dollar Tree, and I got Faygo and Gushers. And the Gushers, at least there, are not actually a Betty Crocker brand, which
Yeah.
I never really paid attention to, but then this comic just made me look.
We got lots of Faygo though.
Yeah.
It wants the hammer!
Oh, do not mean to.
Uh,
Your green text.
Hey,
Whoa, there you are.
how is your adventure going, John?
It's okay. I'm making some progress, and Rose finally connected again, so she is helping me now.
That's good.
Oh, but, like, I don't think I'm actually saving the world here. I don't know what I'm really completing, but I guess it's not that.
Well, I think whatever it is, it must be pretty important. Don't lose hope, John. I think it will all turn out for the best if you stay positive. Just keep listening to your grandmother's advice.
Yeah, you're probably right. But, I don't think I mentioned Nana to you, did I?
Oh, I don't know, didn't you?
I don't know. Maybe you talked to Rose or Dave about it or something.
Yeah, maybe that was it.
You're
this sauce.
you're really weird when they talk. They're really weird when they talk to me about you. Like, they're always trying to convince me that you have some spooky powers, but I'm always like, no, she seems like a pretty regular girl to me. But then when I think back, maybe there are times when it seems like you know some things. Like, maybe you know more about a thing than you're telling me. I don't know.
Oh, well, John, I don't want to explain lots. I want to explain lots of things to you. Some things that I know, I'm just waiting.
Waiting for what?
Oh, John, I forgot I was messaging you about that meteor that fell near my house.
Oh yeah. Whatever happened with that?
Oh boy, well, it turns out I was confused about it, really confused. See, I guess I fell asleep for a while and lost track of time. That happens.
Yeah, I know. Tell me about it. Maybe you should, like, wear an alarm clock or something. So, what was the deal with that meteor?
Well, it's hard to explain, but I know what it is now, and I know everything that's everything's going to be okay.
So, what is it? Or is it just another thing you're waiting to tell me?
Oh gosh, John, I really want to tell you all this stuff, but I can't yet. I really think you need to wake up first.
Huh?
Well, not literally. Well, okay, maybe kinda literally.
Ah! Stop being so confusing!
Lol. Anyway, time for you to go, John. I think you have some company.
Garden Gnomus ceased pestering ectobiologist at... John, quickly grab the pogo hammer. It hid.
It wants the hammer, though.
You stick the pogo hammer back in your stress specimen and get ready to kill some more of those pesky little... Huh? What's that?
They're cowering together now.
Rose? Why aren't you dropping something on that thing? Oh no. John, be the imp. You be the imp and quickly abscond the fuck out of there. This is, what weaker adversaries do whenever things get too hot to handle, which is frequently. John, prepare for a boss battle.
So we should make the imp jump.
I mean, it's
Escaped.
you, like, You stop being the imp because that was stupid and scurry over to your magic chest that you suddenly remember was on the roof. There are some things in here that would be good to stock up on before a major battle. But it looks like someone has plundered your chest. This is so outrageous. You're being ambushed! There isn't much room to maneuver on this slopey roof. Maybe you should consider making your way to higher ground. John, ascend to the highest point of the house. You go up here. John, look down. You peek over the edge.
Oh, there's nothing else.
It already seems like a long way down to your yard, not even to speak of whatever's below. Hey, weren't your trick handcuffs dangling from that branch earlier? Damn it, why do imps got to be making off with all your sweet gear? John, turn around. Crude org. You are confronted with a pair of enormous foes. This is it. You have no choice but to wage a fierce rooftop battle with this is totally going to happen now. And could in no way conveniently be interrupted by a sudden shift of our attention. It is time. It's time to do this thing. We're doing it, man. We're making this happen. Dave, stop being the other guy. You stop being the other guy. You're not even sure what that meant anyway. Dave, ascend to the highest point of the building. We're just all watching this.
Yes, what else would we do?
I don't know.
Do da do bon do 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 bon do 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 bon do 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 bon do do do. Cal is still sus.
He's got cameras in his eyes.
Does he have cameras in his eyes?
We're not sure. It looks sort of like. The Moss Animation Homestuck. No, I want to Homestuck. It looks so cool.
This the day.
The bro took Cal.
Psych!
We do get a new person!
Oh, wait. 2 times double psych out combo.
Oh, poor guy. Oh, it's old pumpkin.
You are now the Wayward Vagabond.
Woo!
Wayward Vagabond, retreat. Got him already. Wayward Vagabond, examine rotten pumpkin. What pumpkin?
Did he just eat it?
Wayward Vagabond, check the little red bar. It appears to be a gauge for the large power cell, perhaps fueled by some type of nuclear reaction. If this is the case, it is relatively low on fuel, but who knows how long it has been running here. You do not care about this sort of nonsense, and you will disregard it at once. You are very hungry. Wandering Vagabond, captchalogue can of gravy. Captchalogue? You have no idea what that means. It is a total nonsense, and you do not know what to make of it. You will not give the foolish notion a second thought.
That's why you want the can opener.
Wandering Vagabond, pick up the can of gravy. Just pick it up. You just pick it up. You are now holding the can of gravy. Wandering Vagabond, use sharp teeth to poke a hole in the lid of the can.
You don't have sharp teeth.
Your teeth are useless for the task. They are blunt like that of livestock, presumably suitable for mashing up plant matter, and not for puncturing metal. Wandering Vagabond, attempt to open a can with your weak, pathetic digits. Your weak, pathetic digits are not strong enough to penetrate the can. Your fingers are certainly pointy enough, and your black carapace is suitably rigid, but you don't have enough muscle for the task. Wandering Vagabond, take the can labeled beans. Okay, you take that can too. Wandering Vagabond, examine can of custard.
It's his cans now.
You can clearly read mustard, a fact of which you are perfectly well aware. It is sort of cumbersome holding all these cans at once. You know you can hold many more than this, maybe 1 or 2. You'll need to find something to put stuff in if you want to carry a lot of things around. Wandering Vagabond, examine markings on wrist. You drop all the cans and take a look at your wrist. It's a sort of a specialized barcode pattern. This brings back unpleasant memories, and you would prefer not to dwell on it. Wandering Vagabond, examine the small potted plant. What plant?
Why?
Burp.
Why? Why not just let me grow?
Wandering Vagabond, examine book on human etiquette. It appears half the pages of this book have been eaten. The daunting volume is considerably lighter than it once was.
He's been eating it as he tries.
You are somewhat skeptical about the nutritional value contained by these pages. However, of the practical wisdom they contain, there can be little doubt. You have learned so much. Sustenance, intermediary, this is the key, consumption. Wandering Vagabond, clear out all the cans inside the purple machine. You empty the peculiar cabinet and take a quick inventory of your canned goods. You have beans, mustard, gravy, bread, shrimp, asparagus, cheese, rice, corn, peas, flour, chestnuts, mayo, ham, potatoes, and squash. Such bountiful plenty, and yet the delights taunt you from within their small metal prisons. Wandering Vagabond, search room for a can opener. You have already looked all over the place for a can opener, even making a few electronic inquiries about one, to no avail. Nothing else inside the purple thing either. Wandering Vagabond, locate a nearby sharp object. You wield your trusty knife. It is actually a You're not sure what they're called. It's an old, rusty one of those red mailbox arm swingy flappy doodads. Either for letting you know if there is a mail in the box, or maybe for alerting the mailman to outgoing mail to be collected. You don't know, really. You've wrapped a little piece of cloth around it for the grip. It's useless for opening cans. Wandering vagabond, be the imp.
I think you already used him.
This means nothing to you. You are not an imp. You have no idea what an imp is, and you will not entertain such frivolous and childish ideas ever again. You feel stupid and hate yourself a little for even considering it. Wandering vagabond, be the mayor of Can Town. As the glorious founder and mayor of Can Town, you are elected a dignified. You erect a dignified, majestic city hall out of cans, fittingly capped off with a tome of good manners for the roof. You have given yourself a very official and important-looking mayoral sash made out of old cables to complete your look of authority. A number of rather civil-minded citizen cans gather in front of the building to offer adulation to their fair and magnanimous leader. All is well. You immerse yourself in the beautiful dream as you whittle away the minutes, or perhaps hours. You love the idea of being a mayor. You love everything about mayors and the concept of an orderly civil democracy. It all seems so mannerly and reasonable to you. Everyone is friendly and happy, and the city runs like clockwork. The foundation of the government is based on mutual respect between the leader and its people. It is also built on having a really great mayor that everyone loves, who is totally amazing and heroic and brave. Mayors are so much better than kings. You hate kings, and you think kings are really stupid. They are petty, bossy tyrants and are really full of themselves, and basically awful in every way. God, do you hate kings?
What's happened to him with kings?
Yes, Trump.
Wandering vagabond, explore west of Cantown.
Oh, that's lovely.
Over here, on the other side of the room, there is another one of those purple storage boxes, and some useless objects scattered on the floor. Wandering vagabond, use glowing green rock to open cans. You pick up the nugget of uranium and... Oh, that was so stupid. Why would you do that?
Did she eat it?
Yeah, you can see it in his stomach.
Why?
Wandering vagabond, examine box of crayons. It's chalk nublets. Non-toxic.
Draw, please. Dang it!
Inside the box, there are 12 pieces of chalk in every color of the... 10 pieces of chalk in most colors of the rainbow. You are excited by this. Wandering vagabond, tried to open the storage box. It's locked! Must be some sort of release mechanism for this thing. Wandering vagabond, examine contents of yellow container.
Is it contents?
The container is full of motor oil. This does not seem useful to you right now. Wandering vagabond, rescue the poor lightning bug. There is nothing you can do for this new little friend. Attempting to crush the amber encasing the firefly would likely cause it harm. It nevertheless bravely flashes on. You find its light alluring, inspiring. To you it seems as if it could easily serve as the light of democracy. Wandering vagabond, use the chalk to draw some roads.
That's cute.
You sketch a handsome network of sprawling thoroughfares for the citizens to traverse. The adoring population applauds its mayor's keen instincts of city planning. You even add some lush vegetation to your city with a piece of blue chalk, because you can't seem to find a more suitable color for some reason.
He eats everything green.
Wandering Vagabond. Lay a chalk foundation for Cantown's civic growth. You develop westward, setting those fertile plains and claiming them for your city. You section off a number of residential and commercial zones for civic growth, arranging it in the only logical pattern that occurs to you. The colors
Only logical.
You color the residential zones with your piece of white chalk, but for some reason none of the colors in your box strike you as suitable for the commercial zones. Perhaps there is an alternative. Wandering Vagabond.
No!
Use your own P for the commercial zones.
What does he have against capitalism and king?
You can't urinate because you have not had anything to drink in quite some time. You are very thirsty. Also, that is a really terrible idea, and you would not consider befouling your wonderful city in that way for even a moment. Who doesn't have something against capitalism and kings?
Oh, we all do.
Yeah.
I just want to know what his drama is.
Use motor oil to designate commercial zones. You fill each empty square with a bit of motor oil to complete the zoning. It looks rather striking to you, and you can hardly imagine that an up-and-coming young can trying to make it in the world would not be delighted to live in your fair district. You are very careful to not get any of the unpleasant fluid on your person.
White and black, of course.
Wandering Vagabond. Peel label from a can of mayo and affix to your
You're a
sash.
pawn!
Survey surroundings in search of more terrain for city.
What he has against a king is because he's a pawn.
Mm.
And they're chess pieces.
It seems you have run out of territory for your western expansion, but there is still a lot of empty wall space. Perhaps your citizens would would be happier with a colorful backdrop that would make them feel more at home. Using more
That's
of your
glorious.
imagination and an entire piece of sky blue chalk, you render a delightful and a bright and cheerful sky full of clouds. You have decided that very loosely orbiting your city is a luminous planet about which orbits a single moon. You switch to another shade of blue and continue rendering on the western wall. Orbiting much further from your city are 4 planets. None of these have satellites, you have decided. Yes, that makes sense, you think. On the southern wall, beyond the impenetrable veil of darkness, occupying the furthest orbit yet, there is an ominous planet. A moon circles this one too. Wandering Vagabond. Check the rampaging boy on the screen. Oh yeah, it's that guy. You had almost forgotten about him and his confusing shenanigans. It seems like he has things well in hand at the moment. He does not appear to need your help, and you have already concluded that he cannot help you, at least for the time being. Wandering Vagabond. Turn on the other 3 screens. You have no idea how to turn these on. There is no mouse for this weird quadra-monitored computer. It can only be operated through text commands from its keyboard. Perhaps there's a special key or command which will allow you to switch to another monitor?
Whoa!
Wandering Vagabond. Press Tab. Tab. Wandering Vagabond. Consume several
This is
cans.
gonna be a bad idea now.
You free the heavily brown elixir from the jewels of pink carapace and imbile with like the wind. It is so sweet and sugary. You wonder how so much sugar can fit in one can. Whatever mighty wizard concocted this potion is truly deserving of your fear and respect. Wandering vagabond, welcome the rest into the city. The tabs are naturalized as loyal new citizens of Cantown. All cans are welcome and equal in your city, regardless of can content and whether empty or full. It's not like emptying a can kills it or anything. They are just cans after all. Wandering vagabond, hit escape. Feeling refreshed and heavily caffeinated, you go back to work on the big computer. You hit escape, which seems to minimize the action window thingy, and it reveals a history of all the commands you've entered. All the commands. All the commands. Use the arrow key to scroll up a bit. You can't believe how much you've already typed into this stupid contraption. What a waste of time. You scroll all the way to your first command. It looks like there are some commands above it. Maybe someone was entering commands on this thing before you? There aren't many more. At the top of this list appears to be the very first command. Wandering vagabond. Type enter, switch to. You activate screen 2. The signal is garbled and you have no idea what you're looking at. Some sort of filthy beggar pleading for help?
It's Rose's house.
No one is around and nothing is happening. You seem to be locked out of any sort of interaction with whatever's happening on this monitor. Type enter switch 3.
That's Dave. And wait, what happened to Cal?
It's another one of those rapscallions. This monitor is locked too. You can't tell him what to do. Not that you really want to, since it just looks like more confusing nonsense to you.
It's with that ghost crow.
You consider switching it to screen 4, but decide against it. You have a feeling that whatever's there would just confuse you even more. And you don't even really care all that much anyway.
No.
Type enter home. All 4 screens activate together. They display a countdown starting at 4 hours 13 minutes. Type enter, reboot. You can't! Nothing is working anymore. The timer seems to have disabled the keyboard. Wandering vagabond. Be the mayor. Enough of this nonsense. You are an important mayor, and this absurd contraption has wasted enough of your time. You've got a city to govern with a carapaced fist, which is to say firm, yet polished and supple as the situation demands. Anyway, this will help you kill some time while you wait for that clock to count down. Wandering vagabond. Create employment opportunities for the citizen cans.
Of course.
You temporarily dismantle City Hall to free up all the can power available to create a vigilant can militia. You divided them into 2 groups, marking them with distinct teams and ranks using the piece of white chalk and the motor oil. You then organized them in a phalanx across the countryside, preparing for a stiff training regimen. When you are through with them, your forces will be a well-oiled machine. Chalk another one up for bold leadership. Wandering vagabond. Lead your men into victory.
Oh, he's playing chess against himself. Chaos. Why do you kick the cans? How many cans are gonna be left for him to drink later?
Wandering vagabond. You waste more than 4 hours on this tomfoolery. Wandering vagabond. Mourn the loss of Citizen Tab. Your caffeinated jittering must have agitated all the little bubbles curiously hidden in the liquid, creating too much pressure in the can. You speculate this is why it exploded as you nervously eye the timer. You're starting to wonder what will happen when it reaches 0. Maybe it would be best not to be near when that happens. Minutes in the future. Though perhaps not as few as implied by circumstance. Peregrine merchant tumbles trudges a precious cargo beneath the gleam of the celestial ominous. Wandering vagabond, go outside and get some sun. You say a bittersweet goodbye to your beloved city. It is time to move on to greener pastures. By which, of course, you mean an arid, sandy wasteland upon which nothing green has grown in years. The door shuts behind you. A panel on the door illuminates as you ponder over the marks on the panel. You hear another mechanical sound overhead.
Oh, he can choose the different room.
The LCD panels appear to have a touch-screen interface. Wandering vagabond, curiously prod the funny-looking spirograph.
Oh, he's locked that.
It appears the funny-looking spirograph room is locked. The floor rotates a full 360 degrees beneath you, while the surrounding wall seems to stay put. Wandering vagabond, select the triangularly fractal.
Oh, is that a lock?
The triangularly fractal room does not appear to be locked. The floor turns 120 degrees and the door opens. You go through the door and find another room. It is the same size as the other one you just wasted all that time in. While a clock was ticking down to something which may or may not be your doom. Maybe there is something in here that will help you escape. Against the wall there is another perplexing contraption. Against the opposite wall is some sort of a control panel which catches your eye. It has 2 large screens, but only one appears to be active. There are fields of numbers which appear to be modifiable with the dials to the right. Some numbers are already supplied by default, perhaps entered by the previous user. There are a few buttons below. The largest one bearing the symbol marking this room. Also, it looks like there is a meter stick propped up there for some reason. Wandering vagabond, attach your trusty knife to the meter stick. You immediately craft a measuring spear, though possibly the most advanced form of alchemy employed thus far. This is obviously the most important thing to do first. Obviously. Or it would obviously be the most important thing to do if you had remembered to bring your trusty knife. You feel so insecure without your trusty knife. It makes you want to hurt yourself. Or, at the very least, flog your carapace with some sort of measuring apparatus. Wandering vagabond, look at the other wall. You examine the perplexing contraption across the room. You, of course, have no idea what it could possibly do. You adopt the only obvious course of action, which is to poke and prod it with your handy ruler. You are quite sure this is what science is all about. Wandering vagabond, press the triangle button. You go back to the control panel, which probably obviously controls that gizmo, and you push the big blue button, which is obviously probably the most obvious thing to push. You purify a pumpkin. Wandering vagabond. Examine pumpkin.
Eat the pumpkin.
It seems that this mysterious gourd was transported, purified, from a specific time and location somewhere on this planet you are on. You wonder if the machine, a purifier, will take any object that exists at whatever time and location you supply. There's a symbol carved on the pumpkin. You don't know what it means, and you doubt it will ever prove to be relevant in any way.
Totally not.
Wandering vagabond, devour pumpkin. You consider dining on the right flesh of the pulp vegetable, but your curiosity about the purifier gets the better of you. You try to sneak a nibble from the pumpkin nonetheless. Wandering vagabond, inspect green button. You first examine the attached green buttons. The icon for the one on the left is that house shape you've seen plenty of times before. The right one is on closer inspection appears to be the map for this underground facility, with an X marking its center.
This is how he can finally get a can opener.
Wandering vagabond, press green button on right. You push the button. All of the numbers change. Perhaps these are the coordinates of the location at the center of this facility, along with the local date and time. If this is the case, it would be a useful reference point for your current bearings. Wandering vagabond, fiddle with the dials. One way to find out would be to attempt to purify something from this facility. It should be easy to zero in on a location relative to the center because you have an uncanny knack for tracking precise distances and you have already traversed in whatever units you choose. Your handy ruler gives you a good clue as to the basic unit of human measurement. You will go with that. Wandering vagabond, purify your trusty knife. You nudge the coordinates very slightly and bump up the elevation by 0.5 human measurement units. You make sure to keep the time approximately what it was to begin with. You purify your trusty knife. Purify Cantown. You nudge the numbers a bit more and purify a bunch of cans. This is so much more efficient than walking back to the other room to get them. You are to believe that time is a premium after all. Wandering vagabond. This de-purified the pumpkin.
And he's gonna put it in the past, isn't he?
Does this machine look like a de-purifier to you? Honestly, the idea of a purifier could both purify and de-purify things is so laughably ridiculous. You would wish someone would de-purify your brain and re-purify it with a brain that was more smart and less dumb. Wandering vagabond. Use trusty knife to carve a spook schema in pumpkin. What the hell are you talking about? That idea makes no sense at all and is basically meaningless. You try using that mushy stuff in your gourd next time. Instead, you just carve off the top, exposing the decadent cache of a gorgeous seed-laden ambrosia. Needless to say, you consume all of it rather quickly, but it turns out to be too gross for us to watch. Wandering vagabond. Move spirograph switch. You cannot move it. It has a spirograph shaped indentation, and possibly will require a special kind of key to turn it. Wandering vagabond. Purify firefly out of the amber. You release your blinky new friend. You'll give her a name when something suitably whimsy occurs to you. Wandering Vagabond. Adjust dial to purify rotten pumpkin. You and Serenity consider new ways to waste more time with the purifier. You are assuming she is a girl firefly, even though you are not really sure that fireflies can even be girls. You target the extremely tasty rotten pumpkin that was sitting in the other room hours ago. Paradoxify. It seems the purifier cannot purify something if it will create a time paradox. A gelatinous ghost pumpkin appears and quickly dissolves into a pile of unappetizing sludge. Wandering Vagabond. Purify the grate over the entrance to the facility. Serenity blinks a message of urgency. You nearly forgot that while trapped in the amber, she was witness to all your tomfoolery and dilly-dallying in the other room, and knows the timer is about to expire. It is time to get this show on the road and escape. You reset the coordinates with the right green button again, and this time only adjust the elevation by approximately 10 human measurement units. Wandering Vagabond. Hasten to the exit. Post-haste.
Ah, this is how they get Cantown out. No!
Is this really necessary? This is incredibly silly.
What happened?
Psych? Oh wait. Unpsych? You attempt the rare and highly dangerous 5x cliffhanger combo and fail. We are doing it, man. We are making this happen. Wandering Vagabond. Ascend.
And what the heck?
I'm gonna leave.
Oh
Oh.
goodness. I think it would have been better to be in there.
That's hilarious.
Wait, he's on top!
Yeah, he went to get out and just went up with it.
Huh?
The continent westward. And years in the past, but not
Ah,
many.
okay.
And baby kitty.
Please don't get on the keyboard.
Baby kitty.
Isn't that what a normal tree drops? A metal apple? You wanna get on my lap? Oh, I get a lap cat.
Here's the past, but not many. Oh, that's lovely.
This is totally normal.
Totally normal.
Just grumpy.
That is quite fun.
Boy is so happy to be on my lap.
The mom.
You're so happy.
Wait, where's the mom going? Oh, those are the trick handcuffs that they use. The dad gets to
Because of him, I just realized that.
Oh, that's hilarious. Brother versus brother. Ah, so this is where the sunglasses thing. So is this past, future, past, past, future,
This was
future,
this
past?
gave past and future, depending on what you're looking at.
Were him and his brother just gonna duke it out on the roof?
End of Act 2.
And that's where we're stopping tonight?
Yep.
Like that'd be hilarious.
Come on, I can't. That's with controls. Oh, now the cat is getting off my lap.
Here. That was not dinner. Lovely.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, and we hope you had. Don't die!
I'm sorry, I have my face entirely buried in the cat.
We hope you enjoyed watching us go through this.
And we'll be back next week.
That's all, folks. Bye.
Not sure if it'll likely be on the same day next week, but who knows? We don't.
Bye.